what some of the individuals were taken to the medical center of Central Georgia that were involved in this car accident. And about this time is when my client becomes involved, because my client boxed at a boxing arena or gym in downtown Macon, along with a guy by the name of Curtis Dwayne Jackson. Curtis Dwayne Jackson knew of some of the individuals that were involved in the car accident. Curtis Jackson suggested to my client, hey, somebody's of mine got involved in a car accident, let's go to the medical center and see him. And he didn't have anything else to do. He said, okay, he went up there. That's where his name, Vernard Rhodes, is being associated in any way, shape, or form with his shooting. Later that evening and later that night, my client was with Curtis Dwayne Jackson and another individual that was really not related to this event, to the actual murder allegations. And they were in a convenience store near 2nd Street when Curtis Jackson sees these same individuals, okay, that had been involved in the car accident, not 150, 200 yards away, mulling around an address, which ultimately was the Mays address. My client says, and we're trying very hard to find this, that he never left the convenience store property. And he said if you were to go pull the video, which we've not been able to do, you would see me, of all things, talking to my mother. Curtis Jackson's role in all of this is he goes up, he sees these guys that he saw at the medical center. They say, hey, we're looking for our guns. They're gone. Okay? And we think somebody in the Mays family took them. Curtis Jackson says, hey, I know Vernard Mays. Let me go knock on the door. So Vernard Mays goes and knocks on the door, Curtis Jackson goes and knocks on Vernard Mays' door. Vernard Mays comes to the door. They have some words. One of the guys behind him, not believed to be my client at this point, that's the individual that actually missed the shot, starts opening fire at Vernard Mays and Curtis Jackson, who's up on the stoop. And you know the rest of the story, Judge. Vernard Mays died in his mother's arms inside his house.
Mr. Rhodes was taken along with these guys to the residence of Mr. Mays, and according to co-defendants in the case and statements that have been given, it is true that Mr. Jackson was having a conversation with Mr. Mays at the door, and Mr. Mays was trying to explain to Mr. Jackson he didn't have anything to do with the bag being taken from the bushes, and at that time, allegedly, Mr. Jackson said something about not wanting anyone to get hurt. The victim, Mr. Mays, tried to close the door and shots were fired. Guns were placed in the hands of all the defendants. Mr. Rhodes was said to have been armed with a .40 caliber weapon, and that once that he was actually the one who initially started the shooting, is what the statements are from co-defendants and witnesses in this case. And then further, as the co-defendants were all leaving away from the incident, Mr. Rhodes allegedly started saying that he thought that he was the one who was able to shoot Mr. Mays. So there are incriminating statements that have been made by Mr. Rhodes in this case. There is evidence that he was in possession of a gun and that he was the one who fired the gun.